Hello and welcome to Mirror Talk. We have moments where we just have to pause. Just pause and take a break and reflect on life. Remember, you are strong, you are enough, you are capable, you are blessed, and you are loved. Your moment of greatness starts now. Today, I'm really excited to learn something new from a very diligent, elegant, intelligent, and beautiful friend. She's an entrepreneur, economist with a very great knowledge of finance and fashion. How are you doing, Fikayomi Agbola?
Thank you very much, Toby. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's very nice to speak with you after such a long time. Since like 100 level.
Yeah.
I'm actually very fine. Thanks to COVID, I've added some weight, but also no thanks to COVID. There's so much uncertainty about, how to actualize your plans. But generally, I can say God is good, so I'm fine.
Wow, that's great. I mean, as long as one is alive and has work to do and, has places to go to and everyone is fine, then.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's really great. So, I could not really, introduce you a lot because I know you do a lot of things and I just want to hear from you directly. So can you tell us more about yourself? Just like tell us everything that you do.
I don't do a lot of things though. Yeah. I'll tell you the things I do. So, well, my full name is Fikayomi Agbola and I have some a bit embarrassing or funny nicknames I won't mention. But my family members and my close friends, they call me Fikayo or Fiki. At work, most people call me Fikayomi. But my brand name is, or should I say my stage name, is Bitney. Bitney without R, not Britney, not Bitani. Bitney. So this is where, the story behind it is quite long, so I won't get into that. But this is where I got my fashion brand name from, Bitney Couture. And I'm also on Instagram as Bitney Couture. I'm tall, I'm very tall. I'm 5'11". I'm the last child of 4 children. I was born and bred in Ibadan, so I'm probably an Ibadan babe. And I graduated from Department of Economics at the University of Ibadan in 2015. I got certified as an associate chartered accountant with ICANN in 2017. Yeah. And since then, I've worked in various industries from consulting to finance, banking, and then I'm back in consulting.
Wow.
Yeah, so my favorite things to do are dancing, reading, gisting, and recently I added traveling to that bucket list. So yeah, traveling.
Wow, that's a lot already, actually.
It's a lot. So, and one other thing I believe is that you can never be caught on fresh in a mix of black and white. So I definitely love black and white, and I love blue. Wow. And I also never want to be broke. So what motivates me to work extra hard is the fact that I don't want to be broke. I'm a very compassionate person. So little good gestures of love and care to people around me moves me. And no matter the magnitude of the gesture, it goes a long way.
Yes.
I love the business of looking good, which is why I'm into fashion design, obviously. And my mantra is that the day a man stops learning is the day he dies. So people that never stop working hard, learning, grinding, and, just pulling their weight motivates me. They make me want to be a better version of myself. And lastly, let me just say, I hope to one day make a huge difference in the world.
Yes. Yes, that's what we all hope to do, right? To make an impact on the world.
Exactly. Yes.
Wow. That's really great. You see, you said you don't do much, but look at everything you mentioned. That shows that you're a very hardworking person, very diligent, and always doing something, and a very kind-hearted person. Like you love doing good to other people, and you love improving other people's life. That's what makes me like you so much. You're a very good person.
Thank you.
See, there's this one question that has always been on my mind, and I would love to ask you because of your experience in fashion and with Bitney Couture. How much does fashion affect our self-confidence and self-esteem. Can you please try to teach me or educate me on the relationship between fashion and self-confidence, relationship between fashion and self-esteem?
Okay. There's a popular saying that says, dress the way you want to be addressed. And I'm sure that many of us have seen how this truly plays out.
Yeah.
Like, okay, has it happened to you that you dress so well and maybe you're going for a presentation or something, but maybe your content is not perfect, but because you dressed so well for the presentation, you still feel very confident.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I would advise that you take your A game to any presentation, please. But you know what I mean? Or days when you look so good and you're hanging around school, but you just want to hang around longer because even when you're not doing anything, just because you feel like enough people have not seen you.
Yeah.
So the truth is, some people believe that trying to buff up in quotes is vain. But I beg to differ, because it's not even until you wear designers or expensive stuff before you look respectable. As long as you're neatly dressed and the combinations of your outfit they are not weird.
Yeah.
Your self-confidence should be 100. However, I know that there are various other factors external to fashion that may affect people's self-esteem and self-confidence.
Yeah.
For example, some people talk themselves down before anyone even talk them down. Some people, they don't just believe that they are enough. Some people they say they are naturally shy. Some people stammer. Some people have defects like physical disabilities.
Yeah.
Some people just allow people around them to intimidate them for no reason. So those things, that's another discussion for another day.
Yeah.
Those things also affect people's self-esteem.
Yeah.
But being trendy and fashionable, it certainly transforms your self-perception.
Yes.
It won't just influence your level of confidence, but it also signifies how other people perceive you. You can actually tell a lot about the person.
Yeah.
About their personality, their status, or their income, just by looking at their shoes, for example.
Wow. Just by their shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. So a great fashion sense is a very respectable way of communicating your social liveliness. Without really talking to people that walk past you. They can tell that, okay, this is who this person is.
Yes.
And your external outlook, it already acts as an opportunity to get away with assumptions and misconceptions people have about you, So you can already put, let me in quotes, some people in their place just by dressing well. So it goes a long way to dress well. It goes a long way and to not dress well as well. Because if you do not dress well to say an interview, you can lose the job.
Yes.
Without them even asking you any question. You've already gotten an F. So it's important.
Wow. See, you just made mention of it right now. You said the way you dress is the way people will address you. And I've always heard that a lot of times. And I would say, I personally, I am a victim of this. So I would love to learn from you this evening. I would love to learn from you at this moment. I would love you to give me like fashion tips on how to dress in a way that reflects who I truly am. How to dress in a way that people look at me and say, yes, this is Toby.
Well, that saying is very correct. And I already touched on some reasons why in my earlier answer. So, for example, putting on a suit and tie, you as Toby, you would act more corporate and you feel formal. And of course, people will respond and regard you seriously.
Yeah.
Compared to when you go for an interview or you go to the office putting on the slippers and a t-shirt. So it's important to stay well groomed, smell nice and classy. You also need to get updated on trendy styles. So the thing is, you can dress up or dress down, but always dress how you want to be seen.
Wow. Always dress how
you
want to be seen.
I won't call it tips per se, but first thing is to understand your personality and your style. You also need to understand your body type.
Yeah.
Understand the colors that look nice on you. Understand the hairstyles that fit you. You know, you cannot say because this person always wears her hair as braids, or this person wears his hair as afro, I will do the same as well. You know, it's peculiar to you. You know, so you can always tell, because when you even wear some outfits, people compliment you more. You know, how you dress at different points in time is also a function of the occasion. You must dress appropriately to a wedding, a birthday, a funeral, interview, etc. So also another thing that can guide you is that most of these events have dress codes.
Yes.
So all you need to do is fit your wardrobe and style to the dress code. You know, and another thing that can help you fix this easily is Google. Honestly, Google is like your best friend. Wow. You can be confused about what to wear for an event or at certain points in time. Just Google it. You get a lot of fashion tips. But the sad part is you might not have that type of outfit in your wardrobe. Yeah. So you just have to mix this somehow. And Pinterest also helps a lot if you know how to navigate it properly. Yeah.
Wow. So just looking at pictures on Google can, you know, inspire one to get the right outfit or how to combine the colors, for example.
Yes.
Wow.
And you also know the colors that look nice on you, you know, except you live under the cave or under the mountain. You know these things.
Yes.
So you just need to understand yourself, basically.
Yeah. And I was just asking, just to emphasize on it, because, you know, sometimes you want us to hear it again to really understand and comprehend that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You know, sometimes I find myself standing confused in front of my open wardrobe, wondering about what I'm supposed to wear or I'm supposed to combine all these pieces of clothing. But I think you've answered that question already. It's like I should just check Google, for example, or Pinterest, for example.
Well, so what some people do is they put together outfit combinations for the week during their weekend.
Yeah.
You know, it works for them, but it doesn't work for me. In fact, I hardly ever pick out what I wear to work or for an occasion before that particular day.
Yeah.
So I just go with the vibe or with the vibe I'm feeling at that moment.
Yeah.
So, but I suppose it's always pays to plan ahead, especially for a country like Nigeria, where you might not have power to iron when you need it the most, you know. So planning ahead works, or asking for the dress code to the event, or asking a fellow attendee before the D-Day. You know you're going with your friend for this event. You ask him, what are you wearing? Although some people sly you and tell you this is what they're wearing, and then they come and wear something else, and then you look stupid. So you have to ask an attendee that you're sure of, like your guy that will not sly you.
Yes.
So that's it. But for me, I think it would be very impractical to say you should have your clothes matched and arranged for various occasions.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. It would be a bit strange. But that's like the only thing you can do if you're always very confused about what to wear in your wardrobe. So you just plan ahead before the day. So that's the best thing you can do.
Okay. So I don't have to like open my wardrobe and put maybe blue trousers here, somewhere red trousers here, or...
So of course, when you're arranging your wardrobe, it always helps to, put your skirts here, put your pants here, put your shirts here, put your underwear here. It always helps to arrange it neatly so that when you want to pick out clothes, it's easy for you to say, this is this top, I will definitely match it with this for this occasion. So if you have a mumbled up wardrobe, there is no way on earth it cannot work, because you have to pour everything out and you be stressed out. You can even be frustrated and say you're not going for the event thing. So it helps to have a neatly arranged wardrobe and the dress code, you know.
Yes. That means a neatly arranged wardrobe reflects that one has a neatly arranged life also.
Exactly. Like... It's very important too.
Yes.
Even God does not like dirty people. Organized people. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. Wow. After this discussion, I'm going to go out my wardrobe and reorganize it.
And rearrange.
So that next time I'm opening my wardrobe, I will save a lot of time while figuring out what to wear.
Exactly, saves you a lot of time. I agree.
Wow. See, I consider you to be a very, very hardworking and goal-driven career lady. Can you share with us about your journey so far? What has been been motivating you to keep pursuing your dreams? What has been that that force, that drive that has been behind you, that is pushing you forward, like to chase those dreams, to catch those goals?
Thank you, Toby. So I believe that there is power in goal setting. And while setting your goals, you include a feasible and realistic timeline. Of course, there is a place of God. You can never overestimate that or underestimate it either. But as human beings, we can only try and plan. Work hard towards it and pray that God blesses your effort. Because without God, not to sound cliche, but without God, I will not be where I am today. But it's the truth, and it's the absolute truth. So, there was a strike action like a few months before I resumed that UI that year. Plus, I always had issues with clothes tailors made for me. It's either it doesn't fit, or they don't get the style, or something. Like, it was just so frustrating.
Yes.
So I decided to go to a local tailor around my area and learn tailoring with a little nudge from my mom, actually, because my mom used to sew for us when she was much younger. So she had machines in the house that she had already stopped using because of age, and nobody was using them. So I'll go to the tailor's shop every day of the week except Sunday, and then I'll go back home and I'll practice sewing with my mom's fabric, and also for my mom and my sister from time to time. And they wore all my amateurish clothes with joy. My mom actually ensured that I did not take. So when we resumed school, of course, she ensured I did not take any sewing machine to school because she felt like it would affect my education. There was a year, I think in 200 level, when I stayed in a BQ. I tried to make her allow me, but she did not allow me. But now I see reason with her because it would have actually affected me. So yeah. Well, also in school, in my 200 level, I enrolled to be a chartered accountant.
Yeah. And
I cannot say it was easy. It was definitely not easy. There were so many ups and downs, successes and failures. In fact, my first fail was in the professional stage. I had done the first 3 tests of exams. I passed everything. And then my professional stage, the first stage in professional, I failed like 2 courses out of 5. I cried my eyes out. Wow. It was very devastating because ICANN exams can take a lot from you, from classes to you already have your school timetable, and then you're juggling it with ICANN timetable as well. So it took a lot from me, and I actually almost gave up, seriously. But my parents held my hands, through it all, and I finally qualified in 2017.
Wow.
So after my course in UI, I served in Lagos. Yes, I served in Lagos State, and I've been here since then. After NYSC as well.
Yeah.
In my mind, I thought, let me follow my passion, which is fashion designing.
Yes.
So after I worked in a consulting firm for my NYSC, I decided not to stay there, and then I went to work in a fashion house. And I pursued that for a while, actually, but let me just say, it wasn't paying my bills. And I realized fast that I needed to understand top-notch professionalism.
Yeah.
So this is what birthed the idea of working in a more structured organization for me. So I worked in the commercial banking group of a bank for just a little less than 2 years. And honestly, I would never ever trade that exposure for anything.
Wow. Yes.
What did you learn there? I learned how to manage customers, how to manage your boss, like all of the things that you would literally not learn in an organization that is not structured.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm currently working in a consulting firm, and later this year I'll proceed for my MBA program by God's grace.
Wow.
So my motivation is simply success, as I said earlier.
Yes.
I can't settle for anything less than success. So also one thing I would like to acknowledge is the importance of surrounding yourself with positive energy.
Positive energy.
And people that are succeeding. Don't say that this your friend is not doing well, or that's why you want to cut them off, right? We all have friends that might not be doing so well that you have to pull up and make them at par with you, or even do better than you. But you still need to surround yourself with more positive energy. You have to network properly and pay it forward. Because if you show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are.
Yes.
So if someone is not adding value to you, or you don't even see that the prospect of them adding value to you in the nearest year or 6 months, please cut that tie, sis.
Cut them off.
Cut it.
Wow, yeah.
Cut it, because they're going to dry you bank.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes you feel so sentimental. It's like, oh, this is my dear friend. Even though the person is, pulling you down.
That's where you have to be a good friend. You have to push your friend to do better. So when you see them trying to do better, then you keep them as your friend. But in a situation where you're trying to help your friend do better, so some people would not help their friends. I don't understand what type of friendship that is, right? So as a good friend, you help that friend to do better. When you see them pulling their weight, you keep them. But when you see that you're constantly trying to help them to do better, but they are just stuck up in their ways and in their never do well type of ways, you cannot stay in that type of relationship.
Yes.
It doesn't benefit you. Even they would testify to the fact that you actually try to help them grow, So those are the type of friends you should keep, not the ones that there are some people that are not just lucky or something and they are really trying and they're not just getting there. These things happen. That is life. Fingers are not equal. Everybody cannot, succeed and grow at the same pace.
Exactly.
But you need to see that they are trying. If not, cut it.
Wow. So what I've gotten from you now is like in a friendship, for example, we should be pushing each other forward. And once someone starts pulling you back, then just cut off that relationship.
Yeah.
Wow. And another thing I've learned now is that, you make plans, but you submit it to God at the end of the day and say, God, these are my plans, and I want to attain success in life.
Yeah.
Wow. That's very brilliant. I mean, sometimes we think, success is just going to come my way without making plans, without doing anything, and we just assume
it's impossible. It's impossible. Like even people that did not make clear-cut plans, right?
Yeah.
They somewhere had it in their mind. So they did not maybe write it down, but they somewhere had it in their mind. And they were actively working towards it. You cannot sit in your house and expect that success will come and meet you. Who are you? It's not possible now.
Yeah.
Who are you?
That's true.
So you must be out there. You put yourself out there, then somehow the opportunity will come to you and you grasp it. Else, nothing will happen.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. And another thing I learned from you is networking. One has to network properly.
Very, very important. Very, very important.
Wow. So, I want to learn more from you. So, based on your expertise and knowledge, can you advise me on how to start a small and medium-sized enterprise? Sometimes you think, yes, I have this little amount of money, I want to invest it. So, but I don't know exactly how to start this, kind of small business. Can you walk me through these steps, from having the business idea to actually making it a reality in terms of, finance and all of that, organization and consulting and all of that?
Well, I'm not an expert, I've told you, but based on my understanding, to start any business, you need to draw up a business plan. The first mistake people make is assume that because it's an SME, it's a small business, so I'm going to just sit in my house, But as long as you're doing this thing seriously, and that is where you're eating from, there has to be a business plan. But because we know that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yes.
So the business plan takes account of your mission, your vision, your goal, your target market, your market competition analysis, your capital needs, your cash flow projections, step-by-step implementation plans, and all of those things.
Yeah.
So once this is done successfully, you can know, like, you don't need a soothsayer to tell you that business is viable or feasible or not.
Wow.
Yes. So that's the first thing you need to do. And it always helps to write down your dreams. That's another thing. You write down your dreams, you write down your plans, rather than just saying it. Do you understand?
Yes.
It's never too late to start that small business that is on your mind. And what you need to do is stop comparing your progress with that of others. In fact, if I did that, trust me, I would have given up a long time ago. Because some people will blow, let me use that word, at 20. Some people will blow at 40.
Yes.
So, but as long as you're very hardworking, irrespective, and you're prayerful,
yes,
if you want it badly, you will never give up.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I think you asked me a second question.
Yes, like how can you walk me through the steps of from having the idea at the back of my mind.
So as for that,
yes,
once you have a business idea, be sure of the need you are meeting. You have to be meeting a need. You cannot start a business and there's no market for it.
Yeah.
So many people go into businesses without proper background research. On the surface, they just believe that the business is lucrative because people are doing it. But that may not be true. You don't know what those people are doing. So do your own background search. It might also be helpful to get a mentor who has been successful doing the same business to put you through so you can learn from their experience, because experience is the best teacher.
Yes.
So with businesses, it's a game of when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Because you will be tired. Trust me, you will get frustrated. There will be times when there will be sales and you'll be like, hey, God, should I just close down this shop? But you can't do that because life is all about ups and downs.
Of course.
So this is what you have to do when you are really passionate about something.
Yeah.
So I can say for a fact that many Nigerian banks, right, regarding funding, they find it difficult to loan SMEs money because of default risk.
Oh, okay.
But recently they are getting more accommodating with the advent of those smaller lending companies like Rent Money, for example. So although Rent Money and all their rates might be higher, but they make loan accessibility easier, especially in terms of documentation. They ask for lesser documentation and the like. So I know that banks now too, they have some SME loans that don't require much documentation. So many people are just not informed. So all they need to do is call up their account officer, make inquiries. If you don't have an account officer that you know, go into the banking or speak to the customer service person there, ask them questions, let them direct you to someone that can help you, and then, that's it. Some people start business with their savings. Some, they will start business with soft loan from their family and friends. Soft loan is like you're not going to pay any interest on it. They will just borrow you the money for a certain time, and then you pay back with that same amount.
Yeah.
But as long as you have to put in capital into a business, no matter how small the capital is, and no matter what the source is, be sure to see it through. Because what's the point, right? So you have to be very determined and resilient.
Yes.
It's easier said than done. No, I know I'm just speaking grammar. But it's doable. That is the truth.
Yes.
You have to put in all you have and make sure that it works. Get a business plan, first of all. Get your experience. Get a mentor. Second of all, get valid information from the bank or something about your funding need.
Yes.
Sometimes you might feel like, as long as you've opened an account with a bank, and you run it for a period of, say, maybe 3 to 6 months, you might not know you might be eligible for a loan. So,
when I ask,
just ask the relevant questions from the right person. You can ask from random people that maybe they are tellers, they might not know. Ask from an account officer, can help you. and you get the information you need. Sometimes you don't even need to start big. Well, they say small, medium enterprise, right? But some people don't. It's SME, but it's not that small, right? But honestly, you don't have to start big. You can start, because Lagos is quite expensive. It's expensive to get a shop. It's expensive to go to the market. It's expensive to transport your everything, So you can start small. Say fashion designing now. You can start just buy a machine. You don't need to buy industrial machine. Buy manual. Buy it to your house. Be sewing it there. You started a business.
Yeah.
So, and it can also help to do like a transition, you can be working full-time, 9 to 5 job somewhere, and then you're doing your fashion on the side. So somehow you're developing your target market, you're developing your customer base, and then you transition 100% into fashion. So that way you're saving little by little, and you're also making sure that you have customers, so that when you leave that job in the bank, you are not stranded and you don't have customers. And then you're like, where do I go from here?
But for that also, when it's a plan, as you said earlier, one has to like really plan it out and say, yes, part-time job with or full-time job with side hustle, for example, then gradually I'll make my side hustle my main hustle.
Exactly. Nothing works without properly planning it. Even if you want to get married, you plan it. If you want to start the relationship step, you have to plan it. You have to know what you are doing before you enter the relationship. Except you don't know what you are doing. Like, define it, know what you are doing. So when you say, you want to define what you are doing with the person you're saying. So what are you doing? That's planning.
Yes.
So literally everything needs planning.
Wow, that's the one key message I'm taking from this conversation.
Another thing you can do is get an accountability body.
Oh, what's that?
An accountability body, a friend that you will tell your plans. Okay, Fikayomi, this is what I want to do. In the next so months, I hope to have achieved this. Can you help me and nudge me a little every 1 month to make sure that I've achieved this particular goal? And that person has to be someone that is reliable, because if not, why is the person your accountability body? So sometimes, when you voice out like that, you feel the need to push harder. Unlike when you're just thinking about it in your head, or when you just wrote it in your own personal diary and nobody knows about it. So it helps to have a body, or better yet, a mentor. Not your age mate friend, someone that is more experienced than you, and they can teach you from their mistakes and experience.
So someone that can wake you up if you are dozing off on your dreams.
And it's very easy. It's very easy to dream. It's very easy to dream and say, I want to buy house in Banana Island. Next year, I want to travel to 4 countries. It's very easy to dream and say, everybody has big dreams, trust me. Like when you hear some people's dreams going, you will be scared. The roadmap to actualizing those dreams, zero. Zero, all mouth, no action. Don't be that person.
I shouldn't have big mouths. I should have good action.
Yes. Is it possible to have big action, small mouth? That's better. Better.
That's true. Let your action speak for you.
Much more better. Okay.
I mean, I should make my actions speak for me, actually, as in, not that I'll be loud and say, I'm going to build mansion in the cloud, for example. I'm going to
not even something that's perfect. Something that seems achievable. Like I want to buy a car next year.
Yes.
Right? And then you are not saving up. How now?
It's not possible.
You're not saving up. All you do is buy clothes, buy this, buy shoes, how will you buy the car?
Yeah, that's true. That won't be possible. Wow. I mean, I've already learned like the major things from you already, like making plans and getting a mentor, and making having a good roadmap and taking actions, actually, instead of just loud and talking about it and without having a plan or strategy. But
exactly, and always putting God put put God in check? Like, let God know your plans as well. You know, you
Yes.
understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
As you're saying it, as you're writing it down, as you're getting that accountability body,
yes,
be telling God too. Because it's the only one that can make it happen.
Yes. Yes, I mean that's like the most important, like that's number one thing to do, actually. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. I mean, I would still love to learn a little more from you. So I would love you to, share with me, like, the effective ways to save money and avoid unnecessary expenses and costs. Like you made mention of now, like I want to buy a car next year, for example. How should I start saving my money now and and avoid spending that money unnecessarily?
This question, just ask yourself. Just ask yourself this simple question: where do you want to be in 2 to 5 years? And if your spending habit will not take you there, then you have your answer now. Like,
wow,
you will know.
Yes,
you would know by yourself. So you can use some apps like Piggyverse and co, such that you earn an interest and also get charged when you withdraw your savings before the due date. They will charge you. So that way you're like, oh, I want to avoid this charge. And you're like, let me just leave it there. I won't spend that money. Do you understand?
Yes.
So that will keep you in check a bit. But the honest truth is, it takes a lot of self-discipline. Or else, if like buy piggy bank and use 4 padlocks to lock it, you still look for the keys to those padlocks.
Of course.
And you open it yourself and you spend it on rubbish. So you can always plan. You can also plan to spend, say, a percentage of your salary and save another percent monthly.
Yeah.
So what you can do is that Piggyverse and some other apps like that. You can also give your bank, for example, you can give them a monthly standing order to debit your account for a particular amount for savings monthly.
Yeah.
Some people do ajo,
Yes.
There are all sorts of things you can do.
Yeah.
But ultimately, just learn to say no to impulse buying. That is it.
Impulse buying. Yeah, that's like the...
When you see something on Instagram, say, I rebuke you in Jesus' name. You do not find me.
Yeah.
When they bring that into your office, you do that thing a lot in the bank. They'll bring all sorts of things like this. You will not know when you start transferring. You don't even have cash, or you will do transfer again.
Yeah, or you borrow money from your neighbor.
Just close your eyes. Like, I'll give you later. You can also, that, as I said earlier, just ask yourself where you want to be in 2 to 5 years. And if you're spending that bit right now will not take you there, then you have your answer.
Wow. That means next time I see an advertisement on Instagram, I'll just tell myself, 2 to 5 years, I want to achieve this and this, so I'm not buying that jacket.
Exactly. You're saving up for something you have in hand, so you won't do it.
Wow. So I should have my goals as in set straight and said, yes, nothing's distracting me.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it's very easy to get distracted,
Yes.
Very, very easy.
Yes.
So another thing I would like to say is that emotional intelligence is very, very important. Some people, they do not have to work hard.
Yeah.
They don't have to work too hard. All they possessed was emotional intelligence. Maybe in their office, or they helped somebody randomly, or they were able to decipher a certain emotion at a certain time, and somebody was impressed by that show of emotional intelligence and they picked them up from the crowd. So your IQ must be very high. Well, not very high. Some people don't have high IQ and they're all right?
Yeah.
But your EI, that's emotional intelligence, or some people call it EQ, emotional quotient, should be high. Your SQ too, that's social quotient, that's your ability to network, should be high as well. You cannot be saying I'm a couch potato. I'm an indoor person. I don't like to go out.
Yeah.
I don't like to. Sometimes I'm a couch potato as well, but I still try to network.
Yeah.
Because nobody is an island. Do you understand?
Yes.
And for business, advertising skills is very important. Learning the act of the business, like learning the business itself, is very important.
Yeah.
Like you can try to maybe work under somebody in that industry first so that you see how it's done. You know, that's where learning, when you go and learn tailoring, for example, you see how your boss is doing it. So you have to always be ready to learn. Do you know that some people will say, they don't want somebody that'll be talking to them anyhow. When I was learning tailoring, they used to tell me to buy food.
Wow.
And I was just entering, I was about to enter UI at that time.
Yes.
And I'm like these other people that are here, they did not finish secondary school. Not to talk of, you know, and they're like way older than me.
Yeah.
So it was paining me, but I did it because I knew why I was there. And you tell me to go and buy food, do whatever. It doesn't take away from my self-confidence. It doesn't take away from my intelligence. It doesn't do anything. You know, sometimes humility is everything.
Yes.
Humility is everything. Very, very important. You know, don't go way ahead of yourself. There's absolutely nothing in being proud. It doesn't take anybody anywhere. So always try to learn.
Yes.
Just have the right attitude to work and don't be complacent or comfortable with what you know, and you'll be fine. Wow.
And it's a lot I've learned from you. Don't be satisfied with what you know already. Keep on learning.
No.
Wow.
So somebody said, I think I was reading Baba Deboye's devotion, that's Open Heaven, sometime last week or 2 weeks ago. And he said, wisdom is knowing that I know nothing.
Wow. Yes. I think I read that too, yeah.
Yeah, so that's it.
Ah, nice. I think you shook a table that I am on actually, and, and I'm sweating.
What table is that?
It's the table of being a couch potato, not always saying, "Oh, I'm so shy. I can't associate. I can't socialize with people too much."
It's funny that you say you're shy, but you're doing this. That's interesting.
Yeah, this is me. This is me.
As a shy person. This is you trying to get out of your shell, right?
Exactly. I think I'm trying
you're progressing. That's the point.
Yeah.
As long as you're trying, you're on your way there. But when you don't try at all, yours is okay, so.
Your own. Yeah. Wow.
Your own.
So one just have to keep on trying, like just keep on pushing forward. Keep on, have your plan and just push forward till you achieve it. No giving up.
Exactly.
And no distractions. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Fikayomi Agbola, for this. I'm really grateful for everything I've learned from you today. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with me. I've learned a lot from you. You shook a table that I am on, and now I'm off the table. Or you broke the table self, so I have no choice but to walk.
Abiyo, wow. Thank you so much for having me as well, Toby. Wow. I really appreciate that, and I had fun.
I had so much fun. Look at me. I'm just blushing. Yes, money. I'm just laughing. Wow. This is so amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I am eternally grateful for your time, your love, and contributions. You mean a lot to me. Thank you once again for listening and sharing with your loved ones. Don't forget to subscribe and follow this journey on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other platforms in the description. Stay blessed.